This is a tutorial for Take You at Your Word, and we're doing it in the key of G instead of D. And the important thing to keep in mind for this song is there's kind of a bounce. It's not going to be quite on the one with a lot of the things. So let's first start with the intro slash turnaround, and it's just a theme that you're gonna, a riff that you'll play throughout. It goes. Let me do that with a metronome so you can hear how it lands. It's 115. So the clicks are happening between. So it's G and B rolling up to, so then C, D, so over and over again. So you do this over the G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of a, it's actually really hard to count because it's kind of like sections of triplets. So I don't have a good way to demonstrate it other than just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, and then starting over 1, 2. So triplet, 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 triplet. And it's not quite the way I counted that last part. It's a difficult subdivision. You kind of need to just hear it. So your intro will end, your turnaround is, and then over C. C again. So that's your intro and your turnaround. And then for your verses, we'll start a little lighter. We'll do fifths in both hands. So. And it's, you don't really hear the bounce right now until you hear the click. On the thing. Then we go to E minor. So you gotta kind of think of it like you're going. Want to actually really lightly kind of ghost note that to give you the right, so you're not going one. If you're going, that has a different sound than, it's really subtle, but it's, I mean, if you end up being right on the downbeat, people won't detect it. It'll be fine. But that's not quite the feel of the rhythm. And so fifths here, and then I chose to do this, but you could do that. It's a little crunchy right there when you're higher up. And then I stayed high on the C because you want there, because you're going to be doing the same thing in the second verse. You just want it to be a little different. And then fifths, the G stays up here the same, the fifth here, and then a fifth for a D, and then E minor, D. So that's your verse. at the end of the verse go B, B, A, G, and then so you can vary the chorus that first time the way you want to. So they have the going throughout, but since there's not going to be a guitar and since there's not going to be all these other instruments, I want to break that up a little bit so that you're not always hearing every time you hear the chorus. You want to break up the monotony a little bit. So after you go, that's what I choose. And then turn around. Turnaround, I chose to make my hands go, my left hand lower because we're building umph. And again, it's the same thing over and over again, but like when you listen to the recording, that riff is over and over again with the guitar, but then it's buried under different things and they lift it out at different points. And so it doesn't end up being so, it's not this droning thing over and over again, but we don't have that luxury, and so we want to like bring it to the surface slowly. So that's how I would handle the chorus going into the turnaround, and then that same sort of something like that. We're going into the verse, so it's a variation. And same kind of ghost noting so you get that right bounce. And then, I mean, you could choose to do something differently, but that's what I would recommend, going from going high to going something. So I represented that more as a D4 over the F sharp. And then doing a C2. Either way, keeping that bounce, but just giving some variation to the oomph in the chord so it's not the same thing over and over and over again. And so when we go into the chorus the second time, still doing the, only this time doing the riff. I think you should do it this, maybe it won't be exactly the second time. I don't know exactly what our order will be, but definitely when you're going into the instrumental, because it's the same thing only over different chords. And then again, E minor, D4, C major 9. Jump, which shouldn't be too difficult for you because your hands are a lot bigger than mine. So after you go when you're to the bridge, sorry, I'll walk it through, but either way, that's the transition. So you're going from the instrumental, and then if you keep time in your left hand, it helps you keep the bounce. on the A with the E minor. G over B. You could do that, or just land here and then so you can vary it that way when you go through that a second time. So I'll do that again. Over C, D, E, G, A, D, E, G. Same thing where you land on A over the E minor, but then this time G, B, and then landing A with the D, and then I mean, so you could have some variation. You could keep it just like this. Again, maybe you'll change it then. And then when you do it the very last time, so however you choose to vary it or not, the very last time into the bridge, then when you land on the, then you're not going to land on the G over a B because you're about to go into the G of the bridge. Then do the, only this time it's like a down. When you're coming out of the bridge, you're going to not keep that energy. You're going to, it's more of like a down chorus. So again, the very last, however many times you end up doing the bridge, the very last time, you're not landing on the G over B. You're letting the D hang, and then you're going, do it again. And then you're building it up. So you could mirror the melody, but either way, the first time through the bridge coming right out, first time through the chorus coming out of the bridge, it's still, I mean, it could be powerful, but it's not energetic. There's not a lot of motion. It's the second time that you could go back to the bounce. You could do things with your left hand. To kind of give it some more, kick it up, give it some more energy. But I'll do a kind of a sample playthrough, and then we'll see what actually happens, but that's kind of wanted to give kind of a, mostly the breakdown, it's a kind of a back and forth. Sorry, down here, let me do it again. Second time. And don't resolve it. Don't go. Leave it there. Leave it on the C. Give it some mystery. I had some bobbles in there. I just learned the song, and it is it's a stretch for my hand. So there's some bumpy parts there, but hopefully the gist of it is there.